Hello and welcome to Sam and Max Surfin' the Streams. I am Max Williams. With me as always is Sam Richards. How are you, Sam?
Good.
Good. Excellent. So we are here to talk about the second episode of the second season of The Orville. I did not look up what the title of the episode was before we started.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the second one. But although the first thing I guess we should mention is that it was actually intended to be I don't know if it was going to be the finale or just to be an episode of the previous season, but they definitely shot it during season 1.
Right. That's why none of the new characters showed up.
None of the new characters show up, and it's sort of a sequel to an episode from season 1.
True. Sequel to episode 3 with Bortus and his baby.
Right. Which, it's, well, let's get into it. So the main plot of this episode is that Bortus is horribly addicted to holodeck pornography.
Yes, he is. And he is not spending any time with his husband. What's his husband's name?
Clyden.
Clyden,
Yeah.
yes. He's not spending any time with Clyden.
Or the kid.
Yeah. Yeah, Clyden feels abandoned.
Yeah, Clyden, unfortunately, I think is usually a funnier character than he is in this episode, because in this episode, was really, pushing all of the, wife-at-home cliches.
Oh, yeah.
Because the show just really thinks it's funny, that these guys are married.
Yeah, it does.
And they're kind of coast on it a little too much. It is funny. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, but it's kind of... They're kind of the O'Brien and Keiko in Deep Space Nine to give you that little family vibe.
Right.
It's just, it's Bortus and Clyden.
Right, which, this almost would be a weird episode of DS9 where O'Brien is addicted to going to the Alamo with Julian.
Yeah, exactly.
So this leads to a problem where, because the ship is there to observe a planet being sucked into a sun. Is the sun going supernova, or it's just that the planet is being sucked into its gravity?
Yeah, something's going on. There might have been a black hole involved.
There might have been a black hole involved, and the planet is breaking apart in just the most visually spectacular fashion.
Yeah, it looks great.
I couldn't get over some of the visuals in this episode. I'm surprised that they held it back, because they obviously used so much budget for it. I mean, the effects were real solid, and they were showing, man, that planet breaking up.
It looked great.
So a weird thing happens where, halfway through the episode, they get a signal of some life signs down on the planet.
Under the surface.
And, man, this shit gets dark. It gets real dark. Because, they have to go down to the planet, and they have trouble because what happens? It's, the ship doesn't work.
Oh, they don't have enough radiation suits to take everybody up onto the surface, and they don't have enough space in their little shuttle pod.
But even before that...
I mean, there's a stabbing. And
right, yeah. Okay, let's rewind a little bit, because there's where we're getting off track on how the plot lines intersect. So, Bortus, in his drive to go more and more extreme, goes and finds this alien. This giant, weird, crazy alien crew member who's just a giant sleazebag.
Yeah. Does not speak the common tongue.
Right, exactly. It's all subtitled, but all the subtitles are talking he's a dude, bro. All of the crew members of the ship all the time.
Exactly.
And the program he sells Bortus is just full of malware. Just so much terrible malware.
Oh my god,
and the Orville starts to break down. So they can't even launch the shuttles to go on the rescue mission.
Right. It did get into the ship.
Right, and because of this, it's revealed what's happening with Bortus. Oh, no, this isn't even revealed. Clyden's just unhappy. And so he, like you said, he gives him a little stabby stab.
Yeah, he stabs him to divorce him.
Yeah.
Because that's how a Mochlin divorce goes. One Mochlin stabs the other, boom. Marriage over.
And, but then they save him.
Right, and he's he shouldn't have saved me.
Right, and then they have to go to counseling.
Yeah, they do some counseling. Bortus reveals that it's because of he didn't want them to conform his child into the male gender.
Right.
And because of that, he hasn't been feeling intimate with his family.
Right, because he blames Clyden for letting it happen.
Right.
Yeah, because if Clyden had stood up in that episode, then something might have been done. But since he wanted it to go forward,
what could they do?
Yeah, what could they do? So that's already pretty dark for this lighthearted comedy.
Really.
But then, like you said, they get down to the planet, and they can save some of the people, but they only have enough room in the shuttle for literally like less than half of the like 70 or so people. And man, it's BS, because when they show us that shuttle, it must be a weight requirement thing, because that shuttle could have squeezed in at least 10, 15 more people. Like,
it's not a huge shuttle,
right?
But you could have fit more people in there.
So the survivors of the colony have a little lottery that we don't see. It happens off screen, and it turns out that the leader has lost in the lottery while her husband and child both won. And so she's going to stay behind, and Bortus witnesses the tearful farewell and realizes what he has and why he wouldn't want to lose it. And yeah, like half the aliens die. It's really, really sad.
It is really sad.
They spring this on you so late in the episode too.
Right, we only get like 5 minutes with them.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, half of you are dying.
Yeah, you're dead. It's it's bleak. It's kind of a weird episode. There's some good laughs. I'd say the stuff when they're in the counseling sessions is most of the pretty funny stuff.
Mostly pretty funny stuff. I did like how they kind of tried to hide that it was a porn addiction.
Right.
But then it's like, oh great, this is just another porn fantasy too.
Oh yeah. Like as they slowly got more and more like blatant and extreme.
Yeah.
Like everyone would start to be just like this big hulking Mochlin person, and you'd be like, oh, here we go. Here we go. And yeah, it is pretty funny when they were trying to fix the ship from the holodeck and they couldn't shut off. Bortus at the last program Bortus had bought, so like John and Isaac were trying to fix it while all the and Dan's there too, right?
Yeah,
because Dan's like, I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, the Mochlin holograms are like rubbing all over.
Yeah,
especially Dan.
So it's good family entertainment. Watch it with the kids.
Yeah.
So I think that about covers it, unless there's anything else you remember being particularly funny. I don't think Ed does like anything in this episode, really, besides yelling at Bortus and Clyden for being crazy Mochlins.
Yeah, not too much Malloy either.
Yeah, no. So
it's mostly Bortus's family-centric episode with a little bit of help from the Doctor and, as you said, Isaac and Dan and John.
Yeah, and so often, gosh, why can't I remember her name? It's Penny something who plays the Doctor, and she's so good at
Claire.
being in one of these shows. Yeah, one of Claire's her name in the show, but her real name is Penny Johnson. She like fits so seamlessly into this crazy sci-fi world. Like she, I think more than almost anybody else, like always feels like she's part of the world. Whereas like I like a lot of the other characters, but like Gordon sometimes is like, hey, I'm just the dude who's here, and like the Captain's the same way. He's like, yeah, I'm just like generally goofy.
It's almost fourth wall breaking, whereas with the Doctor, she just fits right in. It seems comes naturally.
Yeah, because she's been on the Star Trek before.
Yeah, well, I mean, so has Seth.
Yeah, well, in a limited fashion.
He got some lines. When he was on Enterprise.
Well, actually, remember, he was on the other ship that Trip transferred to that wasn't the Enterprise. Because he was on Trip's engineering team remember, then they had to do that, like, when they needed Trip back on the Enterprise, they had to fly the identical other ships, like, parallel, so that they could do a transfer at warp speed.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. But I definitely remember seeing Seth MacFarlane in the background in engineering sometimes before that.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if he was already on the crew and he went with Trip to the other ship.
I see that being the case.
Yep. So that's Enterprise Minute.
Yeah. Orville, it's so much like a Star Trek.
Yeah, you can't help but talk about other treks.
Right, draw comparisons.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you on the next episode.
Yes.